Welcome everyone to the next game of our very fun tournament. Today we are having a Necrons mirror match between M3ll3x and Fuziorak. Waiting for Fuziorak to join the lobby, and when we will be ready to start. Should be a fun one. Totally balanced, unlike matches between different factions. We will see what the guys have came up with. I have my own surface level understanding of the match as well. We'll tell you about it once we begin. Looks like Fuziorak is finally here. Hopefully we'll be well. Should say not hopefully, but must be a pretty fun game. Having some fun pre-game chatter. And we're finally dropping on Gladius. Let's see what we've got. As always, a bit of a death trap corner with an artifact as well. Looks like quite a fun start for Fuziorak. Research tomb, production tomb. Might not have an ore tomb. Another cool energy tomb. Yeah, doesn't look like he has an ore tomb. Actually quite a contested tomb. Yeah, looks quite fun. For M3ll3x, doesn't look that good. Doesn't look as good as Fuziorak, but still has a production tomb to start with. Volcanic tomb for ore. Actually quite a good tomb for energy here. So yeah, definitely playable and in general pretty even. Fuziorak starts with a book on a research outpost. Understandable. We will see what this will lead up to. Would allow him to reach heavy destroyers quite fast. Production starts for M3ll3x. Could not get a research tomb. In fact, looks like he could not get much tombs at all, just two on the spawn. A bit unlucky in that regard. but has a decent tomb here for ore, and can still find a good energy tomb here. But yeah, so my surface level understanding of this matchup is a unit triangle consisting of death marks, heavy destroyers and annihilation barges. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Death marks counter heavy destroyers counter barges, and barges counter death marks. Let's see what our Necron mains think about that, and how other units fit into this triangle. Opening with a summoning core for M3ll3x. Starting on production, quite a good first building. Might be enough production for a while actually. Especially with extra production tech. On the other hand, Fuziorak with book first will be able to reach higher tier units sooner. But yeah, let's check out the artifacts. Quite nicely, one in this corner, one between players, another one in this corner, and I guess actually two artifacts behind Fuziorak. Finally a not so balanced in terms of artifacts map, but still requires him to move his units quite a while back to reach, so might not actually matter that much, especially if the game will be quite aggressive. On the other hand, Necrons have quite an annoying, very fast unit, Synaptic scarabs, which will allow them capture artifacts even in the back, far behind enemy lines, so again the artifacts being so far in the back might not matter that much. But yeah, M3ll3x seem to be on the way to discovering a good energy tomb. Can already see that there is a tomb here. For Fuziorak, well, he already knows about his starting tomb. This one is not that important. But yeah, lacks or tombs, so might be hard to scale army size. Neutrals being a bit annoying, actually blocking his tile production for a turn, I think. But yeah, can either get a couple of production tombs or an energy tomb. This one actually looks quite good for as well. Up to 4 tiles. With this shard will be 30% better than anything else available to him. So might resort to use that as an ore tomb. So yeah, either settling this triangle or like this. Either way will be quite close to his opponent, which will probably settle like this. Goes for a book after summoning core. Quite reasonable, since you want your either annihilation barges or heavy destroyers as Necron. but will be definitely losing out on research against outpost start. Opts for flayed ones. Might work early against death marks since we ignore Overwatch, but we are also quite good at clearing neutrals and can deal with early tomb blades. So definitely a reasonable option. Alright, we have seen energy core for a second, but changes his mind and starts summoning core first. Don't really want to get behind on production too much in a mirror. Gets quite a bit of ore from the outposts, like 3, another 2. So the lack of good ore tomb might not hit as hard or as soon. m3ll3x finds his good energy tomb, quite a bit far away, but nonetheless very powerful. Yeah, and this looks like his ore tomb. With range 2 we'll be able to get at least 4 tiles with 50% bonus after capping the shard. Quite nice. But yeah, will take us quite a bit of turns to see what we are going for. No vehicle building tagged, so we might not be seeing any annihilation barges. Which then begs the question how guys are gonna deal with each other's death marks. Maybe a tanky hero instead. Second summoning core after the book. Plus 21 energy income just from outposts. On the other side, Fuziorak only plus 15, but quite a bit more ore. And definitely a lot more research. So yeah, we'll be doing energy core after summoning core. So looks like m3ll3x will be quite ahead on production. Decides to get Synaptic reanimator. Could be good against early Necron units, but will definitely lose to death marks and heavy destroyers alike. As we can see, Necrons are banking quite a lot of energy. Not as much for m3ll3x due to early production, but I also think Fuziorak might have gotten some energy from the ruins. Actually capping a second artifact behind his base already. Not something you wanna see as m3ll3x. But also means that his early production is gonna pay off by allowing him to clear quite a bit of the map. Yeah, Fuziorak is definitely settling this tomb. Have not found either tombs here due to moving his warriors backwards. Might mean he's gonna settle something else in the back. Maybe this tomb for ore. Actually, we'll get 40 and 30% tiles on range 2. But I still think this one would have been better, if a bit too forward. We'll be protecting the artifact in the back though. So quite a possible option regardless. Goes for another summoning core in his second city. Might be adding another energy core in the main one. Got Immortals. A fun choice. No Immortals for M3ll3x, already got a pop building. Very interesting. Should be taking Synaptic Spider. Yes. Well, he actually didn't explore those ruins, so that's just how much research he got from the 40% bonus with the starting book. Necron things. Might have to sim off in a turn or two. Can't really siege city with just those units, but can definitely try to catch one of the warriors. But yeah, lack of units on Fuziorak side in the early might play a nasty trick on him. We will see if M3ll3x tries to produce another unit before Synaptic Spider. We'll lose just 0.2 production. Well, I guess another 16 as well if he doesn't produce a unit, but might be waiting for that spider like one turn away. Although producing a unit would have delayed him just by one turn. Right, we're getting quite close. Let's do this just in case. It may not look like we're gonna meet each other, but you don't want people to run into each other on sim turns like this. Can cost you a unit for free. But yeah, quite a lot of flayed ones. 3 flayed ones and Synaptic Reanimator before expansion. While on the other side we have 0 units before expansion. Yeah, decides to settle his third city here for ore. At this stage it might yeah, I think at this stage it might actually be worth playing 2 cities, at least for m3ll3x, but we will see. It looks like he's going for a third city as well. Alright. Looks like m3ll3x is getting quite close. Can already see Fuziorak city. Doesn't know yet that this is the first one. So actually attacking it now would be quite devastating. The warriors are away, there are no units. 2 turns for flayed ones. With flayed ones in the city he can kill like 1 unit per turn. But taking damage on your main is definitely not something you wanna do. Get second energy core in the main. Not enough influence for the city. Just 1 influence shy. That's annoying. Forces him to skip second turn. Looks like we will be joined by Tassos to help out with commentating the match. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Tassos.
Hello, hello. Had some internet problems today, but we're here to cast this Necron mirror. What have I missed?
Actually, not much yet. We've got a very standard book opening from Fuziorak with quite a fast expansion on turn 18. Meanwhile, m3ll3x is going for barracks first and has already quite an army on the Fuziorak doorstep. So might get spicy in just a couple of turns.
Did he go book second, or did he make it later?
Yeah, it's a book second, followed by another 2 summoning cores in the main. No heavy destroyers yet. Fuziorak already got heavy destroyers, but decides to make a spider instead. feeling the threat of the siege, I guess. We will see how it will go. No death marks actually, quite interesting for me.
Both have teched the Canopec Reanimator. We see one on the field.
Yeah, there is one for M3ll3x to the left of his army. We will see how it will fare. Might actually help in the siege.
If destroyers just being teched for Fuziorak.
Yeah, but haven't started producing them yet. Actually, produces immortals in his second city. I guess to counter early infantry. Which
Second tier 3 tech, he went for higher energy production. We already see 14. 7 base from both the energy buildings. While M3ll3x went for the death marks and he's starting producing them right now as his second tier 3 tech.
Alright. That actually makes quite a lot of sense if he's attacking. Will be teleporting death marks on the front lines. And they also work quite well against Necron infantry.
Fuziorak has been confined to his base, but he cannot really be sieged yet. Flayed Ones and the 2 starting Necron warriors are not gonna destroy a city with a few defensive units behind it. So he's still in a safe spot currently. And deathmarks don't do any city damage either. So I'm interested that M3ll3x hasn't decided to search for more artifacts to play more of the VP game. He only has one.
Yeah, it will be... He definitely could have gotten a bit more artifacts with this army, especially with flayed ones. They are quite good at clearing neutral units. But on the other hand, even if deathmarks don't do that much damage, it is still annoying and forces you to produce a spider. And actually, those Necron warriors have came back just a couple of turns ago. There was a window of opportunity to besiege the city, since it doesn't one-shot units by itself. So might have been quite an interesting fight. We'll have to wait for a while now, I think, but we will see if they decide to.
Without any visual information of where the units might have been, I guess M3ll3x decided against it on attacking in city and probably throwing his entire early force away.
Yeah, but
see that Fuziorak is going for an immortal, which is a very interesting choice. I don't think does that much damage in the Necron matchup, considering all of the units have quite a lot of armor.
yeah, I think they still work quite well against early infantry, which only has just 6 armor. But yeah, definitely an interesting choice. They also don't suffer from reduced accuracy after moving like that, marks.
Yeah, they do. They do have that mobility advantage. They don't have the range of a deathmark. They would be very effective to clearing scarabs, though don't see scarabs from any player currently.
Yes, and we can see that M3ll3x actually uses Reanimator to take City Overwatch. Interesting option, doesn't get blasted, so doesn't take quite as much damage.
He created an opening to go in, that if he doesn't capitalize on that, he basically gave a Reanimator for free.
Yeah, he will definitely pick up at least a Necron warrior here, I think. Might even get both of them.
I think he has enough damage to kill both of them. He needs to commit 3 units to kill the Necron Warrior on the city tile.
Yeah, but now he might kill just Flayed Ones and Necron Warriors instead. But yeah, he could definitely have killed those 2 Necron Warriors.
And the timing was a bit off. If he had waited 1 more turn, he could have teleported his brand new Deathmark, but that is next turn now.
Definitely. Might have been afraid of new units coming out for Fuziorak as well. We will see if he decides to fight. Flayed Ones seem to be quite powerful against those early units. And I mean, if they are this powerful with their melee weapons, Immortals would have been quite good as well.
Yeah, that's true. They don't. Flayed Ones don't have a lot of penetration. They have high damage, and Necron units have high HP per model, so they don't lose any damage, and they are quite effective. Decides to go for the Flayed one, but move his Necron Warriors out of the city, instead of killing the Necron Warriors that were in the city tile to force more enemy units to hit him before he goes down.
Yeah, but I guess he wants to kill Flayed Ones since they do quite a bit more damage. He would have lost that Necron Warrior anyway.
That is true.
And looks like he rapid reasoned his spider, so it will be coming next turn regardless of how much damage city takes.
Gonna see a Deathmark being teleported in this turn. We do. Might also be thinking this might not be the first. Actually, he can probably tell from the population that this is the first city of the.
Yeah, he can definitely tell.
Fuziorak. This is, I get good positioning. The early city is easier to defend with, considering it will probably have more production. So he only has a single production building on his first city, and 1 production on his second city. It's quite behind on production compared to 3 that M3ll3x has.
Alright, interestingly enough, goes out with his Synaptic spider. Don't think M3ll3x will be able to capitalize on that, since he decided to spread out his units. So definitely a good pickup by Fuziorak here.
Flayed Ones don't have enough movement to connect with the spider. And Deathmarks will have to move, so they will lose half their accuracy. He backtech Deathmarks as well, and he started building them.
Yeah, makes sense in Necron Mirror.
Not a bad idea going around to contest a few outposts with some of his units. Considering the siege is not going to really provide any advantage right now. We don't have the teleport, the dimension corridor, to pull those units back if they get surrounded further into territory. He might backtake it to try to save these units. after they take some outposts and provide some disruption. They might not.
Yeah, we'll definitely hate seeing those units die. I don't think a couple of outposts are really enough to justify losing them. Especially when Fuziorak is scaling his production like this on 2 cities. The last thing you wanna do is lose your unit advantage.
Your numbers advantage.
Yeah. But just looking at their economy, both of them have 3 quite normal cities, so can definitely play for a while. So neither of them have any reason to throw away the game just yet.
More focused on ore on the cities for M3ll3x, while Fuziorak has more focus on research, and they both have a production city, which is definitely not bad.
Yeah, as we can see,
M3ll3x has taken off his crane. He doesn't have enough power to build the building instead of his crane.
oh,
Might try some kind of tempo play.
yeah, looks like it. Actually quite fun. As we can see, mortals actually do quite a lot of damage to 6 armor units, almost half of a squad. M3ll3x decides to put pressure and protect his units by teleporting in another death mark. This might work for a bit more turns, but eventually they will be overrun by Fuziorak production. So we will see if he will take Dimensional Door to get them back. But those units in the middle are definitely not doing anything at the moment. Could have captured that artifact in the corner, in the bottom left one.
Only defended by a pack of flyers, actually a single flyer, and that enslaver unit could have easily taken.
Could be easily taken.
And Necrons don't have any fear of having any of their units enslaved, mistakenly, considering all of them have really high morale. M3ll3x has also turned off the crane on his 3rd city. He's really struggling for power to keep unit production and build things at the same time.
Yeah, I guess he's just saving core.
And influence-wise, the more units he teleports in to try to continue this pressure he's creating, the more expensive it will be to go out if he decides to teleport them away.
Yeah, that's also true, and the economic pressure is not really that high since he can't really do anything with those units.
He only managed to capture 2 outposts. Cities have never been attacked once. And with the plus 46 power, Fuziorak can continue building 3 buildings, units every turn. He's scaling much more linearly than M3ll3x that doesn't have enough resources to utilize the 3 cities he has. He's making power, trying to salvage that. He definitely has time, because Fuziorak didn't start with any tempo play.
Yeah, at this point it could have been worth it trying to capture some artifacts. He can actually still do that if he uses those 3 units to contest the artifact on Fuziorak's side and his other units to get that corner one. Would be very helpful either way.
Might be thinking just that, pulling his troops together. Maybe thinking of going towards the north corner, right corner.
Yeah, sadly can't see the artifact behind the Fuziorak base just yet, despite being quite close. But Fuziorak can't really leave his base for quite a while. Just 2 units will have 2 more in 3 turns, which will still be quite scary to move around against 5 or 6 enemy units.
I'm surprised no one preemptively took the Dimension Corridor, because it would allow to dive possibly for a relic for a few turns, panic, teleport back if need be, even though that's expensive. And on the Melek side, he didn't go for Immortals, so his second tier 2 tech, except for the Reanimator, was Population. So maybe he's thinking of playing the long game straight up, but the book was later, and he's not contesting any victory points, so I'm not 100% sure he wants to play the long game. Population is a bit early as a tech.
Yeah, early pop building tech looks quite suspicious. Could have been like an energy core upgrade.
Energy core upgrade is tier 3.
Alright, yeah, my bad. I guess.
Maybe he doesn't think he's gonna need the Dimensional Corridor, and it is expensive because 30 influence a teleport is the same cost as a Necron warrior, and influence for Necrons can be rapidized to produce economic things. As we see, he has used his influence right now to rapidize second energy on his last city to stabilize his energy income.
Alright,
Maybe
looks like he will be trying to scale up as well. Actually, I have seen the artifact behind Fuziorak base, the one with Still Alive Enslaver. Might be able to take it. But will be quite sad seeing him trying to farm the Death Trap corner in the top right.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of Vespids and Umbras. Though if he manages to do it without aggroing the Umbras at all, Necron units are very effective and very safe to clear neutrals, considering they constantly regenerate, and they are pretty tanky. More interested to see what Fuziorak is going to be doing, and we see that he is starting to try to get some territory on the bottom side of the map. He still believes units are on top of his cities, and they are pretty close, so he's not adventuring that side. But he understands that he needs some map control, some resources coming in. He might end up getting the bottom left relic that M3ll3x didn't decide to go for.
Yeah, might get it eventually, unless M3ll3x somehow spooks him into protecting his cities again. But also seem to be adding a bit too much production. 5th barrack with just 45 energy income might not be able to sustain that while also producing new buildings. As we have seen, M3ll3x already ran into that trap with just 3 production buildings. So going for 5 is definitely ambitious.
Does at least have quite a lot of ore to sustain upkeep for quite a long while right now. and he has a decent bank of energy. And his cities are on, two of them are on 20% energy as well. Might be able to pull it off. We have our first tier 5 tech, he teched Canopy Wraiths. And he is producing Wraiths from both cities.
Alright, that sounds quite expensive. Plus 45 energy will definitely be not enough to produce Wraiths. But we'll be able to force those units back and contest the map with them.
For his second tier 4 tech, he went for Tesla penetration for his Immortal. Did not decide to go Scarabs, which I think in a long game on a Necron mirror can be very useful to go around and take map control and outposts, because Necron units are not necessarily very fast, except for Wraiths that we're seeing right here. But there's not a lot of map to be contested yet, so maybe we'll decide to backtech them later if we see a long game with outpost trading.
Yeah, but also quite don't have a lot of energy, so adding extra energy pressure with producing scarabs might be too hard
M3ll3x
for
on the
them.
other hand, M3ll3x on the other hand did take scarabs, and he's getting a spider on the bottom left corner. Maybe he will try with a scarab to spawn and try to get the relic that way. He doesn't know exactly where the relic is, but he
Yeah,
can probably tell her he has seen enslavers.
at the very least can use those scarabs to scout. Very important in such a long map control based game which we are going for. Interestingly to me, nobody is making heavy destroyers. Personally,
Maybe
I
they-
think they are very strong in the mirror.
They are very strong. They are not the best at killing neutrals, except for neutrals with high HP, like enslavers or droids. Maybe they are still making a few more infantry-focused units to be able to clear faster. I would agree on M3ll3x's position that he has his enemy a bit boxed down. He doesn't know how many troops are there, and he's clearing the map currently. And Fuziorak went straight for the raids, so maybe that's his decision to not go heavy destroyers, because he can produce raids.
Yeah, looks like he wants to use Wraith to deal with M3ll3x army on his side, already gathering his other troops, moving forward to box them in.
Raids can take the Overwatch from basically all of M3ll3x's army, I think, without losing a model, especially in cover. And Flayed Ones obviously don't have Overwatch as a melee unit, so he will be able to go in. I'm interested to see if M3ll3x will go for the same approach, considering he might even see the raids while he's still at tier 5 decks, or he's gonna maybe go straight to Praetorians. They're gonna be very effective versus the raids.
Praetorians versus Wraiths? I guess they are quite effective, but I still think you can just keep producing heavy destroyers. I don't think Wraiths counter them.
Yeah, a ball of heavy destroyers will definitely win versus raids. But the raids can go contest map, and also if they are ever in a position where the enemy heavy destroyer army isn't, they can eat a base in a few turns. I think like 5 raids can kill a base in 3 turns. So it's definitely a very scary unit to have around in a mass, and can put your enemy in a pressure of constantly searching where they are or not leaving his bases because of that reason.
Yeah,
I like
but
m3ll3x's approach of trying to get as map control as he can, and he has gotten all the map control around the enemy base. So the enemy sees outposts that are already captured by his enemy all around his base, which definitely makes him feel confined. And we see heavy destroyers being produced by m3ll3x as well.
yeah, so about race threatening your bases, I think one of the solutions would be to threaten enemy base with your heavy destroyers. I think we're quite good at killing cities as well.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
And unlike heavy destroyers, you can't really teleport them back to your cities, since we are not actual infantry, we are canoptic creatures.
Not that any of them has a dimensional corridor yet. We see population building being built from both players on their main base. Fuziorak did backtech population building. m3ll3x already has it from skipping Immortals. m3ll3x is in a position that he definitely is not in a rush to do something. He was initially behind in tech. He might not know exactly what the tech situation is. He doesn't know the enemy buildings, but he delayed his book. So he's happy that he has map control. He has currently the victory point advantage and the more victory points. And he's scaling on 3 cities.
Yeah, we'll have to see how Fuziorak uses his race. Can definitely get back that that artifact on the right.
It's all on him right now to move out of his base and contest a bit of the map. I think he's waiting for maybe a few more wraith numbers. He's gonna get his second wraith next turn. Maybe he's waiting for 3 or 4. Wraiths are also kind of a trap unit on the army movement because they are so much more mobile than your army that he will need to advance with his army turn or 2 earlier maybe if he wants to attack at the same time and keep the wraiths hidden until that point.
Yeah, so should probably be moving his immortals forward already.
m3ll3x expanding his production, going for the 4th core on the second expansion.
Yeah, that's actually quite strange. It's his energy city, might as well keep adding energy. Especially if you have tagged scarabs, since you can always spend extra energy on them.
I think he might not be getting a lot more energy, and he already has 2 spots for the plus 20% energy on that city. And currently, I think plus 64 with the amount of units, the amount of production is currently enough. He has a lot of map control as well. And Necrons get energy from other outposts too, except for the energy and the start of all outposts. Do they get from... Oh no, they get influence and node food.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely get quite a bit more energy from other outposts and like other factions. But still, he doesn't bank any energy, and as I said, he can spend all his extra energy on scarabs anyway, so...
Let's see if he's gonna run out of energy problems. Fuziorak has already done so, considering he is making flayed ones instead of another wraith on his first city.
Yeah, you can't afford so many cores producing a race with just 40 energy. I think a crane uses like around 8 energy per turn when you produce bigger buildings, so just 3 cities it's already like 24 energy, leaving just 20 for units, and he have already reached the threshold. Even if he produces flayed ones, he don't have enough energy income, so should be adding more energy after shelters. And on the Melik side, his first city is on the production, so he might actually not even need that extra summoning core in third city. You definitely want energy as Necron, since it pretty much like decides what can you produce.
This can maintain 1 unit every 2 turn production with plus 10% from the production tiles in his first city, yes. Which would be enough right now in the scaling situation that he keeps adding buildings to his other cities. But he also needs to produce the summoning cores unless he plans to rapidize them eventually, so he will have more production when he can afford to spend more production. We see that he got the bottom left relic with the scarabs. He's probably gonna just park them right there.
Yeah, to keep the relic. Might eventually even get the fermentation pool. So those scarabs are definitely paying for themselves here.
We have Fuziorak moving in. Hasn't found any enemy units yet. He actually is sending a wraith to the left side. Maybe he doesn't expect much resistance from Meliks on that side. Which he would be correct. That's basically the starting force of Meliks and nothing else in this forest.
Yeah, actually using wraiths to scout around.
They are very good to contest map control as well. They can kill isolated units.
Yeah, they
are very tanky.
Yeah, they can fight units 1v1, but you still don't want them to get caught, and we can check how much damage heavy destroyers do to them. I think very strong. So like...
And these heavy destroyers don't even have the armor penetration.
Yeah, but I don't think it will add that much damage, since we already have 6. It's like... extra... yeah, like it will be the difference between 70% and 8% damage reduction. It's not as important.
I'm wondering, I guess both players might be looking to get the cheaper Rapid Rise as a second tier 5 tech. But we don't have it on either player yet. Don't remember the other tier 5 techs for what they could have gone for. There is Ghost AP, there is cheaper Rapid Rise, you have the Stalker, but none of them have tech Temple, so no vehicles available. Oh yeah, infantry armor. We have infantry armor from Melex, and we also have infantry armor from Fuziorak, so not super rapid rise for either player.
And infantry armor doesn't actually work on race, so won't be helping as much. M3ll3x actually decides to save his flayed ones and give up this artifact. I think a right call.
And losing the unit for nothing in the end is kind of waste.
Yeah,
Definitely better
not
to
something you wanna do.
Fuziorak using his furthest back unit to capture the relic, so Immortals can overwatch if something moves in. And he found the death marks with Immortals. Is he gonna fire and reveal them to get attacked next turn while his army is not in a position to retaliate other from the Wraith and the Spider?
Yeah, I guess you don't want to reveal your Immortals under to death marks range.
Decides against it. Good choice. Aggroes the droid pack by overwatching the Tata Smith, and the droid hits M3ll3x's blade ones.
Now that's some advanced play. Looks like M3ll3x is going to kill that Enslaver, giving Fuziorak a chance to move his units around. Probably won't be attacking yet, maybe take that flayed one.
M3ll3x decides to move his troops further back knowing there's enemies near, instead of finishing off the Enslaver this time. Which I think is the good call. Trying to pull them back while reinforcements are coming from the left side. We have 2 Scarabs, a Reanimator,
Yeah,
a Heavy Destroyer and 2 Spiders.
those 2 Scarabs are gonna be quite annoying. We'll be able to teleport another death mark in next turn.
We see the Wraith on the left contesting some map control. Because he has never actually explored that side of the map, the Wraith cannot use his full movement capabilities.
Yeah, and that's like extremely annoying. Like you are wasting movement of your fastest unit.
Now he has the option to maybe go for the relay pipes in the middle, so he doesn't know that there's units next to it, and if he actually moves there, he's gonna lose the Wraith. If Spider, Heavy Destroyer, 2 attacks, maybe he won't.
Yeah, might not actually. Yeah, might not lose the race outright, but can definitely get it caught. There's actually Scarabs. Oh,
Oh, he pays for repair, 60 influence cost.
yeah. Really wants to keep this race alive.
Makes sense that he wants to keep it alive, because he doesn't have that many units on the map, but that's as much cost as the Wraith itself on an influence.
Yeah, and with minus 15 or upkeep, with minus 50 or income, you might wanna rapid rise your quarries instead.
And with Optin not going for the cheaper rapid rise, and him having 60 influence right now, that's not gonna be a thing, at least sometime. Moves forward towards M3ll3x. He has killed the flayed ones.
Yeah, that's expected. But M3ll3x, yeah, M3ll3x won't be able to do anything about that. Still have to like get either get more units there or fall back. In that sense, Raze looks quite oppressive.
The early units, considering he didn't have any early destroyers, and he's producing destroyers right now, so the right call. He's versus Wraiths. The units he has right there cannot deal with the Wraiths at all.
Yeah,
He's
and
gonna try to hold this position with the reinforcements coming in, because he doesn't want to lose another victory point. And it's a decent defending position, considering there is a bit of map limitation for melee units, and with
yeah, and Fuziorak
Wraiths
can't move his army around efficiently, although he could clear this firewit with Spider and attack with a bunch of, I guess with all his units, taking out that Necron warrior.
Also, we're gonna see the droid changing sides right now, considering he was aggro. Melix walked away, now he doesn't have a target, so he will start shooting Fuziorak until it de-aggros. If it de-aggros, considering he could... he took off the overwatch on the death marks to prevent them from overwatching the datasmith, but the spider still has an overwatch and has 2 range. So he could very well overwatch the datasmith again, and that will act as a
Spider doesn't have an action to overwatch.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Well, it looks like Melix tried to at least damage that Wraith in the middle, but it will be able to get away. Used his Death Marks teleport to do that, so won't be able to reinforce his army on the right side. And yeah, Fuziorak is going for that warrior. Gets into a nice overwatch. Yeah, spends influence. Let's see what he will be doing with his race.
He doesn't do anything versus the death marks. This is Death Immortal, a Dead Immortal for the Necron warriors.
Yeah, but I mean, do you really want to shoot those immortals from those tiles? There's another race coming up, so if he decides to shoot immortals, he will be able to get some units with his race.
Actually, he can shoot the wraiths. 4.9 damage from death marks that haven't moved.
Yeah, might be able to get to kill the race. Not sure Melix will commit now though. Even if he kills one of the race, there's another one in the back, he can actually see it. And 2 death marks, 2 immortals can still... like, Fuziorak will still be able to clean up his army here. But you can't...
True, but
you can't really run away either, yeah.
Yeah, neutrals are stopping him from running backwards. The only thing he can do is teleport the death marks away if he thinks everything else is dead.
Yeah,
he doesn't have dimensional corridor to get his army out.
Yeah, I guess in that case he actually might just kill Race instead, since it's a fast unit and the only one he can't counter at the moment.
Fuziorak going for extra energy and extra order.
Yeah, energy makes sense, he definitely needed to keep producing Race. But
getting the map control he lost from the Wraiths mark, the Scarabs.
yeah, as cool as the Race are, you don't really want to Like, you use them to move free tiles and get into Overwatch. On the other hand, scarabs are even faster and you don't really care about them getting killed.
Yeah, Scarabs will definitely keep him in the game, competing for the entire map.
Alright, looks like m3ll3x is building energy in his main, but production in his third. Might wanna swap that around.
He did go for the Wraith, and he did kill it. And the Canopy Reanimator is in front. It's a tanky unit, but it's also a Master's unit, so Deathmarks are very effective versus that. But right now, the robot has to say something about those Deathmarks.
Yeah, might be losing aggro pretty soon. He wasn't attacked for a while now. I guess if Fuziorak uses his Wraith to kill that Canopic Reanimator, it will give m3ll3x a chance to shoot another Wraith.
Do you think m3ll3x should be considering using one unit to tag the Castellan robot so it doesn't lose aggro, considering it's on top of an enemy?
No, I don't think it is worth it. Like, it also depends on which unit he uses. Because if he uses something like Scarabs, the robot might as well attack them instead of the Deathmarks.
He actually decided on that, moving the Necron warriors in from range 2.
Yeah, we will see about that. If it was worth it. Actually kills Scarabs. Yeah, now the robot will definitely attack Fuziorak units.
The Wraiths come in again a bit unprotected.
Well,
in
actually,
front.
the full Deathmark can't shoot them due to forest, so... actually, only one Deathmark can shoot them. Very good position. Won't be able to do anything against them.
So now that only Deathmarks and the Canopy Reanimator are here, and Deathmarks have their own teleport, we might see m3ll3x deciding to back off this engagement.
Yeah, should just teleport out and can use Reanimator to keep the artifact for a turn or two.
Might decide to teleport next turn because one of the Deathmarks doesn't have a teleport. And if he moves further into the forest, the enemy ranged units won't be able to hit him anyway.
He should be able to get it off cooldown, yeah, on the new turn right now.
Oh yeah, the turn hadn't.
And neutrals already captured the artifact, so might as well disband the Reanimator. Yeah, I don't think you wanna trade your free Deathmarks for one Immortal here. They're definitely worth keeping. But looks like he decides to fight Immortals.
Man, the robot actually moved away instead of attacking Fuziorak.
Yeah, looks like he wanted to get that artifact as well. Well, using 3 units to kill one in this situation.
Just
Well,
hold the defensive position.
Yeah, it looks quite even, but like, he will keep bleeding units. And as we can see, for Fuziorak, bleeding units might actually be the best thing since he is on a very large negative or income.
Melix as well, but has a bit of a bank saved up. He's also building some influence buildings right now. And more death marks. Deciding against building up that heavy destroyer maps, maybe feeling that he needs units to commit into this fight and units that can teleport instantly. Wraith moving out again for Fuziorak last turn, hitting the Scarab goes away.
Yeah, looks like we are having some action all across the map. Quite fun, but I guess the reason for barracks in his third for Melix is to produce heavy destroyers closer to front lines. Now that we actually see him do so.
Might be the idea. I think we're gonna see Canopic Spider get trapped here, and there's not enough troops to threaten the Wraith kill. So he does not know that.
Actually, if he might have been able to kill the Wraith with just Destroyer and 2 Spiders and Deathmark if Wraith came in. Destroyers do quite a lot of damage.
They will get only one shot though, and the snipers would have to move, but I guess he could teleport the snipers from the forest side that he's gonna teleport away. Probably this turn. No, here's 6 tech from what I can see on either player.
Oh, a bit unlucky on Fuziorak's side, having to skip his second city unit production due to lack of energy. Definitely need more energy buildings. But I think we can say so this as well about Melix.
He did lose a lot of city building production early on to keep up with his energy production, making units by turning off his cranes.
Yeah, but still, even with 59, as long as he keep producing scarabs, it will require quite a bit of energy. Like 20 energy every 5 turns, it's like 4 per turn. With 2 spiders, it's like an extra energy building required.
Decides to not pull away from this engagement. Killing the immortals. Actually, not even killing the immortals. Cannot finish them off. 4 units for essentially nothing.
Alright, he teleports another death mark. I think he's hoping to keep this race in the fight until he can heavy destroy it.
He did backtech Wraith himself right now. Instead of going for more heavy destroyers or taking Praetorians, considering he has tier 6 up. And he has started producing them.
Yeah, I guess he liked the 5 movement thing.
Certainly interesting. Try to match your opponent in a mirror match. the other approach is to find a unit that is really good versus its own faction and try to play it off from there. Like a Hive Tyrant on a need matchup, where if you don't have Hive Guard is immortal to everything else.
Yeah, you can't even blind it with gargoyles since the blinding venom is a melee attack. That's very annoying.
Have Deathmark teleporting in as well.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a running theme of this game. Using extra mobility.
This is definitely one of the strengths of the Deathmark in matchups where you're gonna outscale another faction, and Deathmark being tanky, having range straight, and being able to teleport in a fight can prolong the game quite a lot until you get to your win condition unit. But because we are in a mirror, they're both effectively building for the same win condition. So the only thing they are prolonging is the specific engagement in this part of the map by having units keep reinforcing. But I think m3ll3x might finally decide to pull out his reinforcing spider. Got caught. He only has one heavy destroyer in range.
Yeah, can't threaten Vrace yet. And I mentioned it at the beginning of the cast, but in my understanding, this matchup revolves around.
Sorry, you cut out.
Sorry. Yeah, so in my understanding, this matchup revolves around a unit triangle of Death Marks, Heavy Destroyers, and I think actually Annihilation Barges. And since we don't see any Annihilation Barges, we're kinda stuck in the cycle.
Yeah, I was expecting to maybe see one of the players mix in some vehicles at this point. Fuziorak has backdecked the temple, so maybe he's taking a vehicle, or he has taken a vehicle and he's getting ready to produce buildings for it.
Yeah, at this point it might be the Stalker, since it's a very powerful unit after the buff.
Or maybe Doomsday Arcs, considering we are at tier 6 at this point. Though I don't think Doomsday Arcs are the best choice versus potentially a mass of heavy destroyers, considering they need to be stationary to do good damage. But they will be a very hard unit to push with heavy destroyers. They are an excellent defensive unit on the mirror match.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of unit that you but you can't leave your units around. Like if you leave something in range 2 of the Annihilation of a Doomsday Arc, it's gonna get blasted.
Or maybe he's actually planning to not go any early vehicles, and he's trying to go for Monolith with maybe teleporting infantry units through it. We don't have Praetorians yet though.
Yeah, Monolith might be quite a bit of not only Praetorians, but he like don't even have the energy to produce one.
Neither of the players have taken the advanced reanimation protocols for their units to heal 4 HP per turn instead of 2. We don't have... Fuziorak has melee penetration tech for the raids on tier 6, getting their AP from 1 to 2.
Yeah, for such low AP weapons that is actually quite important. But yeah, looks like tides are finally turning into to Fuziorak's favor.
I think Melek's trying to hold that position, trickle a lot of units slowly, and he was losing more than he was gaining every time. Nor getting mark control or outscaling his enemy, considering his enemy is also playing Necron. That was definitely a fight he could have pulled out a long time ago, but he decided to stay. And he was not controlling the relic either. The relic points are identical at 107. Melix is holding more relics, but that's still a long time. 53 turns by holding the relics.
Yeah, looking for around 100 turns games at this point. But so far, looks like Melix got quite a bit of heavy destroyers out, so will be hard to push him with the race. But still need something against death marks. I guess, well, Wraith of his own might work, but still not the best unit against Wraith, or against death marks.
I think he's trying to bait Fuziorak into chasing him. Fuziorak thinking, okay, I finally broke the defense. I can go in with my fast units, kill the stragglers, and then walk into multiple destroyers and potentially lose Wraiths.
Yeah, looks like Fuziorak is gonna take back the artifact from that enslaver. Whoa,
He did move in with one of the Wraiths, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
He is quite fortunate that the elevation and the cliffs do not allow them to get overwatched, but that's at least one dead Wraith.
Yeah, to be honest, it looks like 2 dead Wraiths at this point. And he won't even be able to finish that reanimator.
He might pay for one repair. Yeah, he did pay 60 for repair on that.
I still feel like it's very close to losing both of them. We will see if Melix actually manages to kill them.
It's unfortunate that the second death mark is not in range to hit any of them without moving. So he's gonna lose damage from moving. And one of the spiders is not in melee range either. But 3 heavy destroyers, a stationary death mark. The reanimator itself, which he will gladly trade for a wraith if he can finish something more of.
Yeah, he can definitely do quite a lot of damage. Yeah, I still feel like there is a room for to raise kill.
It's close, but he doesn't have anything to finish it off.
Yeah, sadly.
Bit preemptively attacking with the reanimator, and he won't be able to pull the reanimator back. The wraith won't stay in, but 2 death marks can move in max range and finish it off. And you cannot block the wraiths considering they can move through enemy units as well.
Yeah, I guess you still should attack the race. If at least to threaten the death marks in case they attack.
The sides do not shoot the Wraith. I think he hit it with the Scarabs to kill one of the models, but I don't think he remembered that Necrons will get the model back, considering they can repair. Spider gets trapped by the boxworkers. Reanimator will die to snipers. And the Wraith is free to go.
Yeah, and his heavy destroyers now out of position to get the death marks. Might still be able to get Synaptic Spider if I run into him. But yeah, you definitely don't want to run your race in blindly.
Temple has not been placed at all. So I think it was backtacked to take a vehicle on some tier to keep going through the tiers. But we have no information yet on what that vehicle is. Might be either the Doomsday Ark or... I think it will be the Doomsday Ark because I think we would have seen already tier 7 infantry if they were at tier 7.
Oh,
An interesting choice.
Melix already tagged Praetorians. Still produces death marks in his main. Probably for that teleportation.
Maybe they were already in queue as well. Oh no, one just came out. They're putting a lot of value on the fight right here. Even though they're not fighting over anything other than a few outposts. Definitely a bit of a mistake forcing the fight and not trying to grow the armies. But deathmarks are definitely not a bad unit considering there's no vehicles on either side. So a big mass of deathmark is still good even later in the game.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we keep producing only infantry, death marks are gonna be one of the best units we can have.
I would like to see the living metal upgrade for the Wraiths. Wraiths have a lot of HP and a lot of time you can get back with the Wraith. And did you have a disconnect?
Yeah, looks like my internet died here for a moment. Alright, should be working now. Let's see if I can get back. I will let them know. Let's see if everyone can get back into the game. Alright, looks like I will have to rehost the game. Might as well restart it.
Okay.
Let me just paste you guys in new code. Alright, should be back in the game. Somehow it's 2-minute timer. Well, wait, did it just enable them? Very annoying. Alright, should be working. And yeah, normal timer. Hopefully that didn't affect everyone too much. Definitely unlucky on my side.
Yeah, internet problems have been happening lately, I guess. Have been having trouble myself the last 2 days.
Hopefully it's not some AI overlord taking over.
Maybe not yet. We have. Let's see if M3ll3x tries to push this position again or holds on his city for a few turns, getting a few units up. It's likely what he's thinking of doing, clearing neutrals next to his city. Those death marks are very out of position and trapped.
Yeah, unlucky with those wasps. But you might really want to deal with the neutrals to not get into 10x situation.
The wasps though actually also are protecting him from melee unit. Not that there are any in range to get attacked. And he's starting to make a Pretoria from his third city right now.
Yeah, finally seeing some high level units.
New snipers, not teleporting in, just walking in. He has time. He's next to his city. He has a reinforcement advantage. Doesn't need to use influence right now.
Yeah, looks like Fuziorak tagged Praetorians as well, so we will see if he will start producing them. But yeah, with Praetorians on the field, that is definitely a next step in this matchup, since they don't get countered by heavy destroyers and can deal with snipers as well.
We don't have the back tech for cheaper rapid rise yet on either player. Could have saved, both of them could have saved quite a lot of influence by now. If they had tech or back tech, that technology. Fuziorak moving some of his forces back towards his cities, probably wanting to go get the bottom left side of the map. He probably realized VP situation. M3ll3x still has two, so he must have, considering there is no VP he has in this corner, he can see the VP is uncapped, that he must have one on the bottom left side. Maybe he will try to contest that.
Would definitely like to see that. Spreading units around, forcing the game to be less standoffish. But with Praetorians and extra heavy destroyers behind them, we might be getting into city push territory.
That is true. I think Fuziorak finally feels that she can move out and get some territory. Now that he got some territory back, he feels that he can contest the map instead of trying to fight the enemy force directly, as getting his second Siren caster back. Probably looking to expand on the left side, though there is still a long time for VPs to take a very active effect. There is 50 turns left before Fuziorak loses VP.
Yeah, so I was looking at the ore situation for both players, and it looks like Fuziorak is finally feeling the pressure of worse ore tiles.
He's building ore on all three of his cities. He has barely managed to stabilize.
Yeah, and he also keep having less energy income, so in terms of army size he is again behind. I think he might need a range 2 city range 2 for extra good tiles on his third. Otherwise he might be stuck producing ore everywhere.
Yeah, that 40% tile would definitely help his situation. Though M3ll3x is not that far ahead on the ore perspective, -10 a turn at 57, and his situation will grow worse quite fast with Praetorians coming out with their 3 upkeep and more scarabs. Sorry. And more scarabs getting produced from spiders.
Yeah, and somehow he's still adding extra production in his main. Seems quite excessive, especially if you're going to transition into more expensive units like Praetorians or Race.
The army upkeep situation is very close. Have 24 versus 20. And considering one of that upkeep is the scarabs on the bottom left side that has done no fighting. They have a pretty similar army sizes at the moment, and they're both transitioning into higher tier units. And we can see a bit of the building situation, as you said, as well, for the tiles and the impact they have on the economy. They both have similar army sizes. M3ll3x has more energy, while Fuziorak has more ore income. And population is almost the same, 19 to 18 population for the players.
Yeah, despite having earlier expansion, the economy is... I would even dare to say that M3ll3x got a better economy at this moment. That extra energy he's got is really helping him out.
Yeah, the extra energy is gonna help him build up faster, and the
Alright, Fuziorak is coming onto the middle of the map, and despite army sizes apparently, at least upkeeps being quite similar, just looking at the armies, it doesn't really look that way. M3ll3x's army seem to be quite a bit bigger and stronger. We will see if Fuziorak will be able to get some good trades to even things out. Alright, hopefully it's not everyone disconnecting again, but sounds like Tassus did. Let's see if it's my internet acting up again. Alright, looks like my internet still works, but definitely scary after such a disconnect. Alright, some banter unit naming. Definitely fun. Runs in with his heavy destroyers. Will be taking quite a lot of damage now. Might even see him spend Necrodermis.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome back, Tassus.
My net decided to die as well. It is the day today.
Yeah, definitely annoying. We will see if Fuziorak remembers to turn on his Overwatch. Didn't use alright, used Necrodermis Repair to heal up his immortals. This might actually be a game deciding engagement here.
Did he kill any units on the approach?
He killed one scarab near the artifact.
Have one Praetorian per player in range as well.
Yeah, but looks like M3ll3x has quite a bit more army around here. And will be attacking now. We will see how it goes, but looks like... Yeah, Fuziorak also forgot to turn on Overwatch on one of his death marks. Yeah, might turn up pretty bad for Fuziorak.
Let's see how he decides to play it, how he's gonna take the Overwatch.
Well, he has Scarabs in the back that can take all the Overwatch.
Wait for the Immortals first. Not using the death marks and using the heavy destroyers instead. The death marks have no other target that they can attack for full power.
Yeah, might be keeping them on Overwatch. Might be moving them up now as well.
Very important, very beneficial for him. He had the first turn to engage, and he got a few pickoffs for essentially free, only losing the Scarabs the previous turn.
Yeah, definitely a bit too eager from Fuziorak. Despite armies being technically even on upkeep, Fuziorak army was definitely quite a bit smaller. Like what extra 8 upkeep.
Yeah, we're seeing
Is actually quite a lot. We'll be able to kill at least one heavy destroyer. Might go for a death mark instead.
I like the play of M3ll3x using his most high value unit to kill something further back. Now, if Fuziorak goes in, the Praetorians will be exposed next turn to be attacked, while the Praetorians will get another shot completely fresh on the M3ll3x ones, being on the backline right now. And these Praetorians walked straight into stationary deathmark range.
Yeah, that will be ugly for them. And actually focusing heavy destroyers is not that important when you are using death marks and Praetorians, as the death marks are actually as the death marks do quite a lot more damage. He might still be relying on Brace, so don't want them to get busted by destroyers.
In this turn, he managed to kill one Scarab and one heavy destroyer, the other one being alive and potentially getting his model back with Necrodermis. That was a very weak turn, and I think that the retaliation now is gonna be quite fast.
Yeah, looks like at least a couple of units lost. Might actually be free.
2 death marks and that he can kill the Praetorians, he can kill the Wraiths. Maybe one of the death marks as well.
Alright, focuses those Praetorians.
The Wraith can finish the death mark. Should repair the destroyer to kill the Wraith.
Yeah, will definitely be worth it. Let's see
And
if he
he can
does.
move him one back as well to move him out of the stationary sniper range.
Yeah, decides to keep the influence.
And not moving him back either. Now
Yeah.
he's one tap from the snipers.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't really care because Fuziorak can't afford to keep fighting here. Like,
Two players are a bit consistent in their ideology of not giving any ground.
yeah, we will see how it will work out for them.
He lost his Wraith because he didn't pay influence to repair the heavy destroyers to kill the Wraith.
Yeah, and that will actually bite him in the butt right now. Like, 2 of his death marks are completely out of range, will need to go in. So yeah, I guess I was wrong, and it's M3ll3x's turn to fall back.
He got reinforcements quite faster, and he's actually mass producing Praetorians right now. He understands that they have outscaled the other units, while M3ll3x is still producing a Wraith and a Sniper right now.
Yeah, well, he started producing Praetorians in his third, so we'll probably switch to Praetorians in first city as well after that race. But yeah, looks like the game is turning into Praetorian spam from both sides. The guys two-shot each other, so not much else to build at this stage.
And then having a few death marks alive side, we have 4 versus 3. It's gonna add up quite a lot if there's units in range. Decides to go for the death mark.
You're getting quite close here. Very intense fight.
A bit of a betting game of if you want to kill the high value unit of the enemy, you have to move units in range of stationary snipers, and they keep going back and forth, and the snipers keep getting a lot of value each turn. Maybe that's why he decided to go for the snipers, but you can cut some sniper numbers down, can keep doing this back and forth in his favor. But it's also very scary to leave the enemy high value units to attack while you cut off their auxiliary.
Yeah, still looks like quite a big army advantage for M3ll3x. Not sure if Fuziorak will be able to deal with it.
Attacking the Wraith there, M3ll3x is gonna be really happy that the units he considers a lot more important right now, which is his Praetorians and his snipers, did not get attacked, or the Wraith to get hit.
Yeah, but he didn't really have much choice, did he? Trying to kill Praetorians would have left him in the range of enemy snipers anyway.
I think he should have just pulled back to the base. Both snipers can teleport, not getting blocked by the Wraith, and the Praetorians could just move in city tiles. Because he took out the Wraith and he's gonna lose like at least 2 high value units right now for nothing. Not nothing, the Wraith, but the Wraith is quite less valuable at this stage of the game.
You definitely don't want to lose your Praetorians. But as a melee unit, like, it's really hard not to.
Yeah, I think the only good option he had right now was to return to his base. It's hard to push Praetorians city tiles as well. We don't have reanimation protocol for either player. The updated one.
Yeah, probably since we're focusing down units anyway.
One more sniper meets his end. I think even screening with a heavy destroyer right now might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Its only value at this point is just being tanky. Like it's the worst damage unit at the moment on the field.
And Fuziorak really needs to go back right now. He has overstayed his work. He has only 2 units that are in range to do anything, and at best he can kill 1 Praetorian and lose 2 for it. I hope he moves back.
Yeah, not much choice.
That's why the heavy destroyers should move in melee range and attack as well. They are basically getting a free hit at this point. And if he decides to stay in to kill the heavy destroyers, that would be really bad.
Yeah, we will see if he will be able to defend from out of his base. But even that looks...
He paid the Necrodermis repair while moving 4 tiles back. I think that was a huge waste of influence right there. The Scarabs have managed to go in and take the relic on the right side, and he has death marks trying to contest it, and he's investing a Praetorian to go towards the Scarabs right now as well. And m3ll3x is sitting on 4 relics, so we're seeing 18 or 19 turn victory right now. So m3ll3x doesn't actually have to attack the city anyway. If he can send a few units and keep his relic controlled on the side and keep his main mass outside of the city, he doesn't have to push in.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have to push in.
We see the incredible value of the Scarabs. The fight stopped at the top. A few Scarabs went in, Spider. He took control again, got outposts again, contested the relic again. Versus a faction that, except for wraiths or their vehicles, are generally pretty slow at 3 base movement, not move through cover or anything.
Yeah, Scarabs are definitely paying for themselves in this game.
We did get reanimation protocol upgrade this turn for m3ll3x for HP per turn.
Finally. We will see how much HP he will be able to regenerate with them. But yeah,
Definitely a good tech. Might have been actually good to backtech Living Metal upgrade because a lot of his units that are contesting map and are constantly getting hit are the Scarabs, and Scarabs have Living Metal, not reanimation protocol.
true, and yeah, that's a good point.
Though it's already going to pay a bit. Death marks took a lot of damage on the victory point. They're gonna heal for 4 HP. They're gonna get 1 more model back. Actually, 2 more models back. Fuziorak is running out of time. He needs to really contest this point because he's not in any position to move up and try to attack the main force. And even if he manages to contest this point, he is still behind on victory points. So the only thing m3ll3x has to do is defend on point, and if he ever sees Fuziorak focusing too much forces to get the relic, which he needs to do, he can simply attack the main city. Also, the relic being on a forest, he can have Scarabs. He pulled the Scarabs back, but maybe he plans to teleport a few death marks. But a few Scarabs on forest tiles will take some time to be cleared. Definitely buy him a lot of.
Yeah, I think Fuziorak don't really can't really afford any units to contest artifacts at the moment. But army creeping on his main is actually quite scary.
Luckily for Fuziorak, m3ll3x doesn't have any influence to actually teleport more units on the victory point. So next turn, he will be able to finish off those death marks, which is important because he can instantly decap the relic if he moves another sniper there. That's why I thought it was very strange that he didn't leave at least 1 Scarab on the other side of the relic to not be able to decap it. He decides to move in with 3 Praetorians and a sniper. Two stationary snipers, wraiths, and two Praetorians, and the Heavy Destroyer. I think he might be losing all his Praetorians right here.
Yeah, we'll definitely lose a lot. Level 4 Praetorians actually finishing off the level 3 one.
The one Scarab is also in range to hit the death marks if he wants to finish something. Thankfully the Praetorians are fearless, so getting 1 or 2 kills is not gonna snowball right here.
I think it will snowball, just not in the way we think. Well, actually decides to kill Praetorian instead of a death mark. Very interesting.
I think that's because
yeah, I guess he
he's
will.
almost dead.
I guess he will kill death mark some other way. But yeah, looks like this will be it for Fuziorak.
Fuziorak going back to producing death marks as well. It doesn't have the power to keep producing Praetorians actually, because I think that he invested too much into scaling that he will never pay off. A second population on his second city.
I mean, he just didn't build enough energy.
M3ll3x has turned off the cranes on his 2 secondary cities. They're sitting at 6 out of 6 pop. And he's only producing from his main buildings right now. Getting as much tempo as he can now that he has a game-winning unit that can go in and delete cities. I don't know if it was intentional, but M3ll3x might have just okay. That was the game.
Yeah, Fuziorak tapped out. Quite understandable at this point. I will check the military graph. And yeah, M3ll3x was ahead on army for most of the game. There was a brief point when the armies got even and Fuziorak was ahead for a second, but I think that was before that double race charge in the north.
Yeah, and as we can see in the economy, Fuziorak did have a bit of an early advantage placing the cities earlier, but being forced to stay in the cities and M3ll3x getting the entire map control, then catching up through rapid rise of Necrons, he definitely caught up. I think Fuziorak over-invested a bit in economy when he should have invested more into presence that he didn't have. And also took some forced fights that he should have retreated back.
Yeah, the fight, some of the fights was definitely not the best.
But now M3ll3x is advancing to the semi-final. Yeah, the semifinals, right?
Yeah, he will be advancing
Will
to
be
the
facing
semifinals.
either Merc or Sister.
Oh no, M3ll3x will be facing Exorcist.
Yeah, am I gonna die again? Hello?
Yeah, hello. M3ll3x will be fighting against Exorcist in the semifinals. But yeah, this is it, guys. I will be ending the stream for now. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Tassos for joining in. And thank you M3ll3x and Fuziorak for quite a good fight.